Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we buy and rip open packs so you don't have to. It's a little brighter in here today on this lovely Saturday afternoon, so I figured why not lighten up everybody's day with some box openings and some review. And in today, we're going to take a look at the new One Piece Royal Blood TCG set that just recently came out in March. I never opened a lot of anime except for like Union Arena, and One Piece is the one I've been really wanting to get into and actually, maybe learn how to play and just unbox some packs. So I figured why not be the best day today. So we got this brand new Royal Blood set, and I don't know a lot about One Piece. I hear it's a fun game, and I hear that it's starting to grow in popularity along with like Union Arena and then some of the other TCGs. So why not choose this time to, jump right into it? So we're going to break open this box and we're going to do a full review of just, the artwork, the cards themselves. I don't really have a particular card that I'm looking for, but I know you have alternate artworks. I think you have the manga artworks, which is more or less like the chase cards. And then you have some SPs as well. So we're going to break this open and see what we get today. And maybe we'll pull some gold, but let's cherish this moment to kind of look at all the cards. So if you're looking to get into a certain TCG and you really like One Piece, I hope this video gives you some clarity on deciding if you want to invest into this card game. So we're going to go ahead and break this open. And why I'm breaking this open, like I said before in my previous videos, we love, bringing you these new TCGs, doing some full reviews, and opening up the boxes so you guys have a chance to really make that decision if you want to jump into the card game. So, we appreciate your support. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and check out our other videos of Lorcana, Union Arena, and even Pokemon. We try to get, as much TCG on this channel as possible, and why not take a look at some popular sets like Union Arena, One Piece now, and then Lorcana and Pokemon. But as more TCGs come out, we're going to take a look at those as well. There's one that I've been eyeing. It's the solo leveling. I know you guys heard me talk about it in a previous video, but I really like solo leveling. I think a lot of us love the anime, or those who read the manhwa. I think that's how you pronounce it. So I'm going to take a look to see if I can find some of those TCG cards and open them for you right here on the channel. So here is our One Piece box. So far, I really like the colors. I like the boxes. They're very similar to like Union Arena and some of the other TCGs that we opened. But so far, I think the presentation, just with all TCGs, and even, this one right here, are really nice. It makes it easier for us just to pop it open just like this. But instead of doing this box just, in this display, let's go ahead and break up all these. I don't even know why I folded it, to be to be transparent, just because I was going to take all the packs out anyways. So as always, we're going to take our box and we're going to toss it that way. So here is all of our packs. I think we get about 24 packs in this, right? I didn't even have a chance to read the box, so we're not even going to really look into that. So let me put these off to the side. Oop, I'm not kind of knocking them all over here. And then we're going to just start, ripping these open. But before I even jump into these, and I said it before, definitely enjoy these TCGs, enjoy these openings. So don't forget to follow our channel. Don't forget to leave a comment and let us know down below on this video if you guys love One Piece. Is this a set that you guys have been waiting for? Are you guys newer to this TCG set? I really want to learn how to play it. I think it's super fun just from a lot of the, the locals I've been watching and in some videos I've been seeing online. So along with Union Arena and One Piece, I really want to learn the ins and outs of this. But as you guys know, my bread and butter is Lorcana. As you can see, I have my Lorcana mat right here for us, the giant Tinkerbell here. So I think it was a pretty good, how can I say it, compliment, not comparison, but like the cards and the mat go themselves just because of the colors. So, but let's not waste any more time and let's jump right into this set. So far, I know we haven't opened anything, but I really like, the One Piece card backs, which you can see right here. And I'm excited to see what we pull. So far, the card quality, just feeling it from here, is actually really nice. I do like, it's a little different than some TCGs like Pokemon, Lorcana, but I do like how Bandai, lays out their cards, obviously with the point system up here, their name, and then just the full artwork. I think it really gives you appreciation of the card itself, just because they take time, rather than making it a square, they make the whole card their artwork. So, all right, so we have Nami, Nico Robin, Isho. I don't know some of these cards, so if I pronounce them wrong, I apologize for that. Fighting Fish. I like, actually, the Fighting Fish. I like that traditional artwork. It reminds me of like traditional Japanese, which I love traditional Japanese. All right, I think this is an action card. The weak do not have the right to choose how they die. Sai. But I was gonna say Brian, but it's definitely not Brian. All right, X Drake, Pika, Tony Chopper. Oh, and a Sugar. Oh, okay. And this is Usada's Captain Kid. These are, I think this is the 1-star. This is a special, I guess it's a special here. Let me kind of get up here. So you have your special here. Isado, right? Captain Kid, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. And then I guess you have a foil here, which is a Sugar. Sugar. I said Sugar. But I don't know if you get a foil every single time. But just this first opening here, I like the foil so far. I think, a lot of these TCGs that are coming out now, especially with the animes, I think they're trying, obviously they got to compete with Pokemon, they got to compete with Magic. And, I think they're doing a great job at doing that. So, it's really interesting to see, how these other TCGs are starting to be created. How are they, competing with the other, artworks and that. So I think that's what really makes, all these TCGs compete against each other just because of the different artworks. So we have Brook, Saint Homing, Special Long Range Attack, Bagworm. There's another Nami there. And then here's a foil. I do not forgive those who laugh at my family. And then here's a Shiryu. I think that's how you pronounce it. But we're going to look at, once we're all done today, we're going to look at these foil cards, just to do some comparisons to see, how they match up with each other. But I think one cards that we're looking for, well, I wouldn't say looking for, but we want to keep an eye out for is the parallels, the SPs, and then those manga artworks, which, like I mentioned, I think everybody's chasing. So maybe we could pull that today. If not, I'm still enjoying this set. I still like it. I think, the artwork so far, I really, I think it's impressed me. And then the card themselves, I think it's very sturdy, not really flimsy. So like if you're playing a lot, obviously you're drawing, you're playing a lot. So I think it's really good quality to have in these cards. So, all right. Oop. So I have Sunju Wolf, Punk Hazards, Buffalo. I am going to attempt that. Royal Zoro, which I think is one of the main characters, right? With Luffy. Little Black Bears, Cave Dish, Oopsa. There's no longer any need for the 7 Warlords of the Sea. Hack. Monkey Luffy. Oh, okay. I like the Luffy. I like the yellow. So it's actually pretty cool that they make the yellow and then the card, foil here really pop out. Okay, and Cave Dish. Pretty nice so far. All right. But let me know down in the comments below. Do you guys really like One Piece? I know I think the longest running anime. I think that's what that's what I read. Not somebody told me. But I could have sworn there was other ones as well. But if not, it's one of the longest running anime, and I don't even know if they're close to being done. I haven't watched the anime just yet, but I do plan to get further into it. Actually, I lied. I did watch a couple episodes, and so far I liked the series. I did like the live action. I thought it wasn't too bad, along with all the other ones they ever made. But I hope they plan to do Smoker. Okay, and then Divide Departure. Oh, I kind of missed that foil. Okay, and then Captain Gang Binge, right? If I'm pronouncing that correctly. But I really like the anime so far, just from some of the episodes I saw. I had to go back and start it from the beginning and really dedicate. I hear that there are, YouTube channels out there that kind of go over or skip all the fillers. Just like Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball GT, and all the other ones. I think there's just a lot of fillers. So like if you go on YouTube, you go on Google, it'll show you all the ones to skip because they don't really pertain to the main storyline. So, which is pretty nice. Like some people don't want to waste their time, but I think sometimes it's good to review or at least watch some of the fillers because like there's some backstories, there's side stories that really help you understand the characters and make you fall in love with them. So missing those are kind of crucial when I'm trying to understand the characters themselves and Nami, and then some of the development as well. Broom, Pika, Sabu. Okay, Marco, right? And I think that's our last one. Okay. So far, no, I mean, not too bad. Again, I don't play the game, so let me know down in the comments below if you guys think any cards that I pulled so far are really good for your deck and you guys are looking to play. Like I said, I'm big into Loricana, so like I understand the card, you know, the really good cards and the ones that are like, oh, okay, you know, they're good to have. But One Piece, like I said, I haven't really opened as much. I only know so much about it, but, you know, why not choose this time to get into it? IG, Absurd, Brooke. I think Scotch, right? All right. Scotch or Scotch. Oh, Mochi. Oh, okay. Oops. Okay. And then Smiley. And then... Oh, okay. This is almost like a manga, I want to say. I don't know if it's a parallel. It's a special. Okay. Those are pretty cool. Actually, you know, this is... Oopsie. And then here's a Smiley here, which is the foil. And then here's the manga here. I'm going to put this off to the side. I really like how they do some of these manga foils and introduce them into the game. I don't see that with Union Arena. I don't see that with that Dragon Ball TCG. Not even with like the Godzilla as well, which Godzilla is more like the movies than actually the, you know, the manga or comic books. But I like how they introduce that into this at least game. Just because, first of all, it's an artwork we don't really typically see. We always see like just the character himself, alternate artworks, or even if you do like team ups, like Pokemon does a lot of team ups. But I thought this is pretty cool, straight from the manga, and I just like how it breaks it down per panel. So if you guys love the manga, it kind of like a throwback to it, and then having it in your deck just feels a little bit more nostalgic, I want to say, or just adds two hobbies into one. Some people like TCG, some people like manga, so it kind of like adds those values together. All right, Frankie, here, Buffalo, Isho. The weak do not have the right to choose how they die. Dragon number 13, Killer, special long range attack. And there's Nami again, Lim, and then another Uso, right? Usodas or Usta. Again, if I'm pronouncing this wrong, let me know. Captain Kid. That's actually pretty cool artwork. Look at that. I really like how One Piece takes the time to really draw out the artwork and then put the foil on it. Like, you don't see stuff like this in, like, I'm going to say Loricana, right? Or Union Arena. The one thing with Union Arena is, even though it's another anime and they really take their time on, you know, bringing out these new sets, like One Punch Man came out, Demon Slayer came out earlier this year, but I do really like how, like, at least in this One Piece so far from what I'm seeing, is that they take the time to draw out the artwork, bring it to life, and then throw the foil on it. It's just super interesting to see. Frankie, Gum Gum Dragon Finger Pistol, Caesar's Clown, there's Sugar again, Virgo, right? And then there's a Senior Pink. Perfect. All right, we got still a handful of decks here, or sets, or cards, however. But so far, my opinion is I love the artwork. I like the style of it. I mean, I'm not too familiar with like how the cards laid out are with like 1, 2s, the different colors. I think just like maybe Union Arena or like Demon Slayer, like each card is specific to maybe a higher version of it, or it means something else. Like in Loricana, for example, you have, what do you have? You have like, you have Steel, you have Amethyst, you have Ruby, and each of them are tech differently. So I take it these are the same as those. Oh, look, see, another one manga. That's actually pretty cool. Jesus or Jesus, Gum Gum UFO, Wooly. All right, there's Zero. Oh, okay. This is, I think, another artwork. I want to say this is a character. I'm not too sure. I'm sorry if I'm not showing you guys. Let me bring it down here for us. Okay, that's actually a beautiful. I'm gonna sleeve that up. I think. See, I'm not too familiar with some of these artworks or how they're, you know, not, I wouldn't say the rarity, but just like which ones are the good ones, which ones, you know, are rare in that. So if I'm not being as surprised as you guys, like, I apologize. This is the first time opening this set. I like to really be transparent with it, but I think that's actually pretty cool artwork with the foil. I'm going to put that over off to the side, and we're going to take a look at everything that we pulled today just to see, you know, compare like the pull rates, you know, compare, you know, the cards to some of the other ones. But I think just having the foil at least in one pack, I think we haven't pulled any non-foil. I think like Pokemon, you're starting to see more foils. I think Union Arena, I don't think you get a foil in every pack. And in Lorcana, I think you do get one foil. So I do like how they include that in a lot of these sets, a lot of these TCGs that they're starting to give one foils. I know like older Pokemon, like you'd be lucky if you get a foil. So Zaru, Foxy, Leo, and then there's the Rebecca, which is actually pretty cool. I'll put that off to the side. But One Piece, I hear, at least now, it's starting to get really good. Like they're taking further into like Luffy's powers. Like I think off of Royal Blood, like the character, he's obviously on the box, but he's starting to get into his powers, starting to like obviously just grow more in popularity. So I'm excited to see where this TCG continues to keep growing in, and then see like what other subs are coming out. I promise you, when we do another box opening, I'm gonna be a little bit more knowledgeable in One Piece. You're probably thinking to yourself, well, why are you doing a review of, you know, a One Piece TCG if you don't even watch the anime or even read the manga? Because I love TCGs, right? We're 7 cards in hand. I want to, you know, have the opportunity to rip open this box so you guys who are maybe not familiar with the TCG actually can form some kind of opinion about it. So that, again, this is not, you know, this is not a professional review. I don't make these cards. This is my personal review off the TCG itself. I hear it's super fun. I hear there's a big community around it. So why not, you know, obviously give your opinions around this TCG. And then if you guys love it, let me know down in the comments. What are some good cards to have? What are some good decks to build? So then I can start learning how to play. The community is great from what a lot of people tell me. So your guys' support would definitely help understand a little bit more about this TCG. All right, Fighting Fish, Saint Homing, Barrier, Jewelry Bonnie, Cube. We pulled a lot of them. Liberation, Jacqueline Mid. Oh, okay. And this is, I take it this is a similar card. Like you have a action point card in Union Arena, so they're both made by Bonsai. So I take it this is very similar to it. Your turn plus 1,000. That's actually pretty cool. I'm gonna put that off to the side. I don't know what that card is, and then again, I don't play the TCG, at least not now. But the artwork is pretty cool on it. So Buffalo, Brooke, Frankie, Saint Homing. Let's meet again in a new world. See again, those manga, just artwork is pretty cool. Again, like I like how they add that into One Piece. And again, Union Arena doesn't do that. God the Red. Lorcana doesn't do that, which Lorcana is more Disney, you know, Disney movies and that. And then Pokemon doesn't do that. They do a lot of more like I said, team ups and like alternate artwork. So, all right, Caesar Clown. That's actually pretty cool. Red and blue. Not familiar with that. Tony Copper. Okay, and Damned Punked, and that is a cool foil as well. Yeah, let me go and sleeve that up. If I'm sleeving, I might be sleeving up the wrong ones. Maybe I'm sleeving up ones that don't really matter. But hey, I like them, and why not have them a part of the, you know, in a sleeve, right? You need protect all your foils. So Rock, Metron, Holy Guild, Munchie, Cave Dish. The Weak do not have the right to choose. We should have pulled a lot of those. X Drake, Mancheri, here, Basil Hawk. Here. Oh, okay, that was the last one, which is, I like this one actually pretty cool, right? So we still have a handful of cards left, and I do actually have the cards next to me on you know, on my other screen. So we haven't pulled any of the parallels that, you know, I've seen, at least some of the higher ones, but I think, you know, a lot of them are like I said, they're going for a lot right now, and I'm not all about valuing these cards and just saying, hey, let's make a quick profit off it. You know, I like opening these, and I really like for us to understand, you know, the mechanics of the game, you know, enjoy the artwork, admire it, and then, you know, do we want to add those to the cards? So, especially in this TCG, I'm not really expecting to like, oh, let me make a profit out of it. Let me, you know, tell you the value of the card. You know, I know a lot of, you know, a lot of channels out there talk about, hey, these are great value cards, which is good to know, right? Because do you want to keep them for your collection? Do you want to, you know, give them, you know, circle them back into the community and then invest into other TCGs? So, you know, I'm not really always about the value of the cards, but, you know, it doesn't hurt to know what they are. Dragon 13, Nami, Clear Count, Smiley, and then there is a Tongue, right? Tongue Xing. Okay, we got a couple more left. So far, I think we hit I think we hit some really good cards. You know, let me know again down in the comments below. But if you're enjoying this video so far, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Again, we enjoy your guys' support here, and I hope you guys enjoy this pack opening. Gives you, if you haven't opened, you know, obviously One Piece, or you have before, this really gives you an opportunity to, again, look at, you know, some pack openings. I know these sets can be very expensive at times. You know, we have that, what's that, a stigma that we want to open packs, but we don't have the money, so why not watch people open them? So I hope that, you know, this provides that clarity, or at least that joy to you guys. And then for people who are new to the channel, I hope this actually gives you some ideas if you want to run Royal Blood One Piece, if you want to play One Piece, if you want to play other TCGs, because that's what we're all about. We want to make sure that we give you guys an opportunity to review these sets and form your own opinions about them. All right, Marco, and then Violet. Again, I really like the foil off these cards. The Marco here, and then the Violet. I just think like the blue and the purple really pop. Same with some of the other ones that we pulled. But, you know, they're nice. I really, really admire the manga ones. And, you know, even though some of the chase cards are, you know, the manga ones, just the action cards that are just, I think, maybe common or, you know, rare, those are pretty cool too, especially if you're going to add them to your deck. Night Sugar. All right, Radio Knife, which, again, manga. And then, okay, oop, drop that right there. Let me pull it up right here. Another, I think it's an action point card. I'm not too sure if that's the terminology in One Piece, but I know in Union Arena you can get action point cards that are in foil. Which in our last Union Arena break, we had a foil, which I never seen in Union Arena. I didn't even know they came in foil. So One Piece is showing me that yeah, they can come in foil, but maybe they're not called action points. Maybe they're called something else. Well, switch long range again. Senior Pink. And then there's our smoker there. Perfect. All right, so we're getting down. We haven't pulled any parallels or I would say SPs. Maybe we did. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't know what they were. So, you know, let me know if we have pulled one. Sorry, Sanjo, number 13. Which I'm going a little fast now. Okay, here, Hack. There's another smoker. Oh, okay. That's a nice. I like that smoker. I like the artwork too. And then there's a smiley, which we pulled a handful of smileys too. So I don't know particularly what the creature is or the character, but or even the action, but you know that's what happens when we open newer sets with animes maybe we haven't only watched a few episodes of. Okay, so let's see, Frankie, Gum Marino, Brooke, Room, Baby 5, which is interesting. Julie Bonnie, Capone, and then Sanji. Alright. We got 4 packs left, which, you know, we're getting down to the wire, but we still have some time to pull maybe a manga, which I like those mangas. I know the one in this one, I forgot what his name, who's the manga, but I saw some of the ones from previous sets, and they're gorgeous cards. I mean, I think they really give, like, Pokemon and some of these other TCGs a run for their money. And I could see One Piece really like being some of the top games, like especially as years start to go down. I'm sorry, as you start to go down the line in years, and like Magic has been around since what, early 90s? Oh, okay, that's actually pretty cool. The Monkey Luffy, I was not expecting that. Wow, that. Listen, look, you can't compete with that artwork. Like, just look at that. I know you guys don't get, can't really see the foil, at least on my end, but that, you just, again, you can't compete with this. Like, look at that artwork, man. And I think it looks like right from the manga. I could be wrong. Maybe it's a, one they made just for the game, but you can't compete with that. And I actually really enjoyed that. And I don't, like I said, I don't watch a lot of One Piece. I don't even play the game, which it's super interesting to me, but I do like all different types of artwork of TCGs. I really enjoy, just admiring a lot of these artworks, especially from games that I've never played for, or even shows I've never seen before. All right. Okay, Divine Departure. All right. 3 more packs left. 3 more packs. Again, so far, I think that Luffy one is my favorite. You just don't see artwork like that. And some TCGs just I like to compare it. I wouldn't say compare it, but I like to kind of look at like Dragon Ball. that TCG. I haven't really looked further into it. I just saw some of the boxes, but the artworks are really nice. Like especially when they go Super Saiyan. I really want to not get into it, but I want to open those for us here on the channel. And I think, we're probably going to, dive deep into those ones. Maybe sooner rather than later. Probably not really right now. Because we have some exciting sets coming up. Like Pokemon's Destined Rivals is coming out. Lorcana's, the Reign of Jafar is coming out. So maybe we'll wait till the hype of these other TCGs start to die down. Until we open those. Here's another one. Until we get those Dragon Ball Z ones. So, alright. Sorry if I'm breaking this open very roughly. Alright. Rock, Namek, Brooke. Let's meet again. Maru. Gum Gum Dragonfire. Okay, damn Punked. That's awesome too. Look at that. You can't beat that. And then Cryos. Right? Or Cryos. Alright. One more pack. Let's see if we could pull a manga, SP, or parallels. And again, maybe we already pulled it and I just don't know it. But hey, at least I can admit to you guys that I'm not sure of what some of they are. So I'm going to go slow on these ones. Punk Hazard, Barloo, Brook, Fighting Fish, Scotch, right? Sconch, Edward, Barrow Pistol, Seizure Soldier, Momo Sukid. Oh, wait, there's another Monkey Luffy. I think we got one more behind it. And, all right, Vertigo. All right. I think personally, these are some good pulls. I could be wrong. You guys can let me know if maybe we did pull some grails. Maybe we didn't. I'm not too sure. But let me bring out everything that we pulled so far, and then we can talk more about it. So here's our action. Oh, that's a Pokemon card. That's not good. My desk is full of different TCGs right now, so pulled some of the wrong cards. So Monkey Luffy there. Okay, I think that's everyone. And then here are some of our other foils. So I'm gonna put these ones up here. Maybe maybe one of these cards here are really good ones. But I just love the foil of these cards. I mean, you can't beat some of the ones on here. Like look at Smoker, Marco, Violet. I mean, come on now. Vertigo. That one right here, Usta Kid. I really love that. Look at this manga one. That's awesome. That's my second favorite. Yeah, these are some awesome artwork cards, and then an Usta Captain again. But guys, let me know. Like, did you guys enjoy this opening as well? Have you guys had a chance to open Royal Blood? It's my first One Piece opening, and maybe I should go back to maybe a previous set and do some openings as well, given that this is the newer set, and I'm not too sure what are the new mechanics that this game brings, or some of the new characters that, obviously make certain decks meta, certain decks, not work as much. So I really love the artwork of here, and my personal opinion, take a look into it. I like the artwork. I'm not too sure of the mechanics, so it's kind of hard to talk about it. But I think the quality of the cards, and I think Bandai does a great job of really, making sure that they're solid quality cards. They're not too flimsy, they're not too thin, so they're not gonna, obviously bend very easily. And then the artwork and foils, I think, are just up there with some of these other TCGs. Again, One Piece I know has been around for a little time, not as long as like Pokemon or Magic, but it's growing in popularity and it's going to continue to keep growing. And I hope to open more. I'm going to open up more sets. I'm super excited to do that. But you guys let me know. Did you guys really enjoy this, break open? Did you guys like some of the artworks that we pulled? I'd like to hear your guys' feedback about One Piece. And should I invest into it? Do you guys like the game? Do you not like the game? Because sometimes, a game could be really good. And then they're like, a lot of people are like, nah, it's not really good. And only a small amount of community really enjoy it versus a growing popularity. But I think One Piece, especially at my locals, we have multiple different stores around here that are actually holding, set champs, tournaments, and then just regular gameplay each week. So I figure that it's growing in popularity, but hey, I could be wrong. With that being said, guys, thank you so much for joining us here today to do this card break and, obviously review and, understanding, is this a good set to, or at least a good game to invest to, But before I let you guys go, I hope you guys are enjoying the giveaway announcement from last week. We're giving away custom Pokemon coins from our friends at AKA Supply, actually right here. If you haven't had a chance to, obviously enter into it, there's still time. It doesn't end until next week, which is May 1st, which will be the final date until everybody, obviously enters, and then we close it out. But if you guys want to win custom Pokemon coins and then some other TCG goodies, definitely enter this. Definitely enter into it. It's something that you don't want to miss out, and you want to add those Pokemon coins to your collection. But with that being said, I appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out some of our other videos. We have some great openings from Lorcana, Unarena, and Pokemon, and I hope you guys will enjoy those videos and really get some clarity if you want to invest into those sets, those card games, or just enjoy the foils like I do. But I hope everybody has a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.